Here we are kicking off another week with the Luke Kelly Show. Thank you so much for hitting play wherever the hell you listen to this podcast at. Kind of free-flowing today. Don't really have that much to talk about. Just some really cool things going on. Just saw a notification before I started to record this podcast that Monday Night Raw is coming to Louisville at the KFC Yum Center in November. So you best believe I am fully hyped right now. Got to buy my tickets. Hopefully, I know someone that can get me tickets. Hopefully. I'll have to reach out to some old friends. Like, hey, can you get me some tickets? I'm too cheap to go out and actually buy tickets. Ah, yes. That's what I need. Free tickets, because free is for me when it comes to everything in life. If I have an opportunity to do something for free, I'm right there. I'm sure you're the same way. When you have an opportunity sitting right in front of you, and they go, yeah, best part, it's free. Yeah, you want that. Give it to me. I'll take doubles of that. It's free? Yeah, double. Don't get too greedy. Sometimes you can't get away with it being double. All right? It's free. You just get one free thing. I'm just hoping. One free ticket to go to Monday Night Raw. I'll go by myself. I don't know if Nora will go with me. I hope she does. If she doesn't, oh well, I'm going to be the loner. I'm going to look like a real loser if I go to a WWE show by myself. That would take going to the movies by yourself to a new level. Like, going to a movie by yourself is kind of weird, but I wouldn't hate someone for going to a movie by yourself. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And realistically, logically, when you think about going to a movie by yourself, it should be okay because it's supposed to be quiet. You're not supposed to be talking to anyone. It's not like you need other social interaction to go to a movie. Now, it's weird for some reason, but whatever. Me going to a wrestling show by myself, that's weird, but at least there's a lot of other people. You could get into the show screaming, yelling, having a good time. But at the same time, it's weird. One ticket, please. That's it. That would be the worst part, like going to the ticket counter, and good thing you order tickets online for everything now, but that would be so weird. Going to an event, one ticket. Because you know they're going to say, just one? Yeah, thank you for making me feel like an even bigger loner. Oh, man. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about work life. That has been great lately. You know, it's awesome to work for a company that realizes all of your hard work and celebrates all of your hard work. That was explained and showed to us last week for the company that I work for. They were very thankful for the month that we had. They were very thankful that we keep on working hard. So they took us out for a little family company fun. We went to main event. Did a little bowling, did a little laser tag, ate some pizza, some pasta salad. It was a good night. Some people drank. And the best part of the night was seeing people play laser tag. I'm a competitive person, right? But the lengths that some were going to playing laser tag was next level. People were walking out of the laser tag arena looking like they just worked out for an hour and a half. Like they just went on a 10-mile run in the 90-degree heat. That's what they looked like walking out. Like, kudos to you, because me, no way. I'm not putting that much effort for some damn laser tag. And I felt like my gun wasn't working half the time. I'll go shoot someone and you just hear it. Or unless my shot was that far off, because I suck at that stuff. Never been a good laser tag player. Maybe because I haven't done it much, but I was never a good laser tag player. I would always get slammed. They'd be like, hey, man, how many points you end up with? Be like, good thing you can't end up with negatives, because I would have ended up with negatives all the time. Going to birthday parties to be like, hey, who wants to play laser tag? Not me. I don't want to embarrass myself. Never been good at that. But it was so funny to see everybody outside of work get along, have a good time. There were some people that were bowling, and after I got done playing laser tag, I went over there. I was just watching them. They're having laughs, drinking some beers, making fun of each other bowling, because not everybody is a regular bowler. I feel like if you go bowling on a Friday, Saturday night, some random night of the week, you're not a professional bowler. You're not someone that goes and plays in leagues or anything like that. You're just there to have fun. You don't care. And you're there to give someone a hard time. I walked up. I saw someone throw like 2 straight gutter balls. It looked pathetic. And I gave him a little shit because I was like, that's what you got to do. And one of the guys kept telling me all day, he's like, wait until you see me on the bowling lanes, man. I'm gonna crush it. And I was like, yeah, I could see you being a hustler, saying, yeah, you're not that good at bowling, but realistically, you've bowled a couple of like 300s before in your life. And he was like, no, I'm not that good. Like, he was like, but I'm decent at it. He's like, I'm decent at everything. I was like the confidence there. You believe in yourself. So I went over to his lane, and one of the guys went to go grab a drink. He was like, hey, 1 second, just bowl, okay? Could you bowl for him? He's like, I don't want to wait for that guy. It's like, yeah, sure, I could go. I step up. I haven't thrown a bowling ball in forever. I can't tell you the last time. I think I might have lived in Illinois the last time, because I don't think Nora and I have ever went bowling. I don't think so. But anyway, so here we are. My turn. I pick up that bowling ball. Now, I'm not strong, so I can't handle big balls. I grab the 10-pound ball. I'm like, all right, let's line myself up here. Let's look at the little marks on the floor. I got this. I'm hyping myself up in my head. You got to get a strike. Show these fools that you could do it. I start to walk up. Arm goes back. Fling that ball down the alleyway. Boom. Strike. Walk off. My boss was going nuts. He goes, yeah, I knew you could do, like he was my biggest hype man in that moment. He goes, I knew you would crush it. I knew you would crush it. And I was like, yeah, that is also the last time I'm throwing a bowling ball today. He's like, why? Step in for anybody that just, if you're going to throw a strike, it's like, listen, I am riding out on a high note right now. I got my 1 strike. What else do I need to do? I'm not going to bowl a perfect game. I don't know how many more pins I'll hit the rest of the night. I'm good. I'm Gucci. That's just like, if I ever get a hole-in-one in golf, I'm done playing golf. When I explain that, people always say, why? Why would you just quit after a hole-in-one? I am not a professional golfer. I don't shoot well regularly. I'll get into the 80s every once in a while. I just don't play enough golf to be that good at it anymore. And if I get a hole-in-one, what else is there for me to accomplish in golf? Nothing. Nothing at all. I would have reached the highest level if I get a hole-in-one in golf. So that's why, as soon as I get that hole-in-one, I'm walking off the course. I would probably finish out the round so that way my round is official. But no need at all to play golf the rest of my life. Just like in that scenario of throwing a bowling ball down the lane and getting a strike, it was only going to go downhill from there. No, thank you. I know what I'm good at. Bowling? Nah, not good at it. Golf? Subpar. And actually, way above par. That's just me. All right? Once again, it's just fun. All those things are fun to do. It's great to hang out with like coworkers outside of work, to see them in a different atmosphere. I had a good time with that. And it made me feel like I was valued, that a company would go out and support me like that. Like, yeah, you're cool. You're cool for doing that. If you work at a place like that, you got a good employer. You really do. But it was funny the other day at work. I keep talking about work here for a second. There was a Taylor Swift song that was playing at work the other day, and I forget which song it is. If I started to hum it to Nora, she would know it. She's a big Swiftie. But someone asked me, they're like, hey, are you a Swiftie? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to deny it. I was like, I was a Swiftie before being a Swiftie was actually a thing. They're like, what do you mean? Back in like teardrops on my guitar days? I said, yes. Absolutely yes. Country Taylor was my Taylor. That's the Taylor Swift that I fell in love with. Teardrops on my guitar, Our Song. What were some of her other country songs? Oh, man, what was the big one? Is like Love Story. I believe that was it. Love Story, that was a huge jam when I was in high school. I think kids now would call it a banger. I always say banger, and Nora always tells me that I'm wrong when I say banger. Like, no, banger is the correct term. I think you're just getting old and out of touch. I work with the young kids, okay? They say banger at work. She's like, no, it's a bop. I'm like, no, bop is for old people. I'm not saying bop anymore. It's banger, okay? Turns out it is banger. I'm good like that. I know it. But then they kept asking me questions. They're like, oh, do you like Taylor Swift now? I was like, some of her new music, yes. Said, you have to understand, my wife is a big-time Swiftie. So if a new album comes out, I'm listening to the whole thing like 16 times because my wife is going to have it on repeat for like 3 weeks straight. So I'm going to be listening. I'm going to be vibing. I'm going to be jamming. But there's nothing wrong with liking Taylor Swift. Some people, I honestly think some people fake hate on Taylor Swift. Oh, yeah, she's so boring. All she writes about is breakups. Yes, that is what she writes about. You know what? It has built her a huge career. Every comedian has their own niche that they do. Majority of actors have their own niche. Once they find it, they stick to it. When's the last time you've seen Will Ferrell in a good role that is not a comedic role? That he's not playing that kind of persona that he has portrayed in movies? If he's tried to do it, it's felt bad. It doesn't feel right. So it's okay for someone to express their art the way that they want to, in the easiest way that they know. It's just like any artist. If you go back, every artist had their own style in which they painted or they drew or whatever, spray painted, whatever they did to show their artistic ability. Once they find it, they stay to it. If you ever see a graphic designer's work, you see it and then you see it over and over again, you're like, I know exactly who created that artwork. It's the style that works best for them, and it's successful. There's nothing wrong with it. Me? What is it in my life that I think I've kind of fallen in a niche in? I have no idea. I really don't. Maybe wrestling. That would be my niche. I watch the WWE all the time. Majority of the nights in which I have the next day off, I will turn on Peacock and I'll watch a premium live event on there. Just sit there, watch it. doze off a little bit about halfway through, go upstairs when I wake up, and finish going to sleep. Because that's what usually happens to me. I'll watch about an hour of it, doze off, sleep for about an hour, go back upstairs, and actually go to sleep for the rest of the night. But when you have that niche, you fall in love with it, you know your style, you feel comfortable with it. That's why I feel like when people fake hate on Taylor Swift, they don't really believe that fake hate that they have towards her. They have that fake hate towards her because it's kind of the cool thing to do. It's either you can't beat down the middle when it comes to Taylor Swift. You either are a hardcore Swiftie or you hate her. There's no in between when it comes to her. And it's okay to be in between. It's not okay to have this fake hate just because you want to go against all the Swifties out there and tell her how she's so one-dimensional. Majority of artists are one-dimensional. If I want to put this into wrestling perspectives, every wrestler has their own sort of style. A certain way that they wrestle. Pitchers in baseball have their style of pitching. They know how to throw to certain hitters. Sometimes they rely on one pitch more than they do another pitch. Same thing with hitters. Some guys can only pull the ball. And guess what? Those are the types of guys that will have a shift on them. So I'm just saying, everyone has a niche. Artist, everyone in their regular lives, they have a niche, whether they like it or not. But just don't hate it because you truly don't know what the thing is. Just like when it comes to food. Sometimes you'll talk to someone like, oh yeah, I don't like that. I don't like fish. Oh yeah, when did you try it? Oh, I don't know, like when I was a kid or something. But I've just always hated it since. I always tell people in that situation, do you know how many things from my childhood that I hated to eat that I now love? Your taste buds change and evolve. You shouldn't just keep eating chicken tenders. Try other things out there. You don't know if you truly hate that. You don't truly know if you hate salmon. I don't like salmon, okay? But it's not fake because I've had it multiple of times to just try to eat it, and I can't. I just don't like it. But so many times you hear people talk about things that, oh my gosh, I hate that. And it feels so fake and forced. Like words, okay? For example, words. One of the words that I think has the biggest fake reaction to is moist. Oh my God, that word is so gross. Moist is not gross. Moist is gross because you heard someone else say it, and now you just follow suit with it. Moist is not a bad word. Moist is not describing women's panties all the time. Okay? Moist is used for a cake. Oh yeah, that was a really nice moist cake. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that word. It's a fake rage towards it. There's other words out there that are fake too, that people just get fired up over. And I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's a word that that word is just a description of something being not dry, tasting good because there is a lot to it. It's a nice moist chicken. It's a nice moist cake. You can take it. That word is fine. Other fake hate, Androids. Android phones should not be hated the way that they are. iPhone is looked at as a as a status symbol in the United States more than anything. People think that if you have an Android, you're poor. Ew, green bubbles when you text. How can you do that? That's why iPhone is so much better, because we have blue messages and we send iMessages. No. That's actually an antiquated style and technology that Apple actually uses. It's true. Most things that you see on iPhones have been a thing in Androids for years. And I always shit on Android phones until I got one. I got one in 2020. I just wanted to switch things up. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have this fake hate towards an Android phone because I've never had one before. So I got one. And guess what? I really like it. It is a really good phone. Has a lot of great features on there. I don't think I'll ever go back to an iPhone. I think it's silly. I really do. I think you're paying for the name. Cameras on a lot of other phones are better. Processing on other phones, better. But you just can't hate an Android phone because of it being a status symbol, making it think that you're rich because you have an iPhone. If you really want to dig specs for specs, majority of the time an Android phone is going to be better if you compare apples to apples. So if you compare the iPhone 13 to just the S22, it's going to be fair. That's a fair comparison. Which one's better? But you got to try an Android out before you shit on it and you have this fake rage over it because you've never even used one. If you've used an Android, you know it's a really good phone. They last forever. People that have iPhones, they don't last forever. But the other reason why they don't last forever is because those type of people have to have the latest and greatest when it comes to Apple phones. I will suggest this. If you have an iPhone and you ever want to get an Android phone, it's tough to get a lot of your stuff over. There is not a good app to try and get over everything. Usually you could get your contacts and like some photos if you back it up to a Google Drive. But man, apps and other stuff, it's really hard. They just don't want them to work well together. But eventually I think they will have to work well together. I can't believe that I just found so many things out there that people have like a fake hate towards. That was just kind of off the top of my head of things that kind of make me upset that have this fake hate, fake rage for. And I think the reason why is because I'm seeing it more and more. People just hating on something because it's a cool trend to hate on something. Have you experienced it? If you haven't experienced it, can't hate it. Can't. That's the truth. Once you try it, you don't like it, okay. Then you're able to say you hate it. Just like this podcast. You try it, you may like it, you may not like it. You could hate it and move on. For all I care. All right, that's going to do it for this Monday episode. I just realized I haven't done a top 3 for this episode. Screw it. We're not doing a top 3. You know why? I don't know a top 3 to count down. So that's where we're going to end it for today. Thanks for listening to The Luke Kelly Show.